Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames, messieurs. Hello, bonjour, ami. The Paramedic Memorial Bell has traveled to 45 services in Ontario. Thus far, starting in Windsor, traveling a couple of services in the Southwest, then traveling by Orange up to the far north, Moosonee, James Bay, and working its way back down. Handing off between land and air ambulance, as well as service to service. Its path is to hit every EMS service in Ontario, finishing in Ottawa on December 31st or January 1st. We have lost 51 paramedics in the line of duty throughout Canada. They were military, paramedics on the road, and volunteer frontline. I cannot imagine the amount of paramedics, dispatchers, fleet staff that we have lost due to suicide as well. I want to thank everyone for being here, to show that we remember, to show our respect and honor the paramedics that went to work and never made it home to their loved ones. To the ones that took their own lives, to let their families know we will remember, to let the ones know we are here by your side to support and guide you through the darkness, that you are not alone. Since 2013, the Paramedic Ride has been riding to honor those paramedics and the fallen and those who suffer in silence. We hope that every time that we go into work, that we also leave to go home and see our families at the end of shift, as well as battling the darkness of PTSD and being able to continue on in our job or in our lives. My name is Gregor Timick, and I'm a paramedic here in Niagara. And I welcome you and everybody to the Niagara hosting of the Paramedic Memorial Bell. We do have a couple of speakers. I would like to call forth MPP Jeff Birch, if on.
Good morning, Greg. Thank you very much. It's an honor to join communities and paramedic services across our country to remember paramedics who have lost their lives serving in our neighborhoods. Paramedics are present in cities, rural communities, in the Canadian Armed Forces, and in search and rescue teams. Wherever their work takes them, paramedics provide exemplary care in our most stressful moments. Each day, they take risks to care for those in our community. We must remain committed and vigilant to ensure that they have the safest, healthiest work environments possible. That includes comprehensive support for mental health and PTSD. As an elected official, I commit to making that a reality. Today we gather to remember their service and honor their family members. Let us all remember the sacrifices these fallen heroes have made for all of us. And I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of this very special ceremony. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you. Our next guest speaker, MPP Jennifer Stevens, if on.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning, everyone. I am honored to be able to participate in Niagara's EMS Paramedic Bell Arrival Ceremony today. Even though this event looks a little different this year, it certainly has not stopped us from acknowledging the importance of the Paramedic Memorial Bell as we honor our line of duty deaths in Canada and recognize the effect of PTSD and suicide. Throughout the pandemic and during the last 6 months, we have all taken time to thank our frontline workers for their commitment. They show up daily, even when the rest of us are trying to stay safe, far away from the threat of the unknown danger. Paramedics and EMS workers are truly frontline heroes. These men and women regularly encounter threatening situations daily on their job, all while dedicating their lives to help their communities, individuals, and society as a whole. It is not an easy job through this intense pressure, stress, and fighting against the clock. Paramedics are our unsung heroes that literally do save lives. It's only right that we gather together today. We commit to doing what we can for the paramedic community from various levels of government and throughout community organizations across the Niagara region, Ontario, and Canada. We are all a better and safe because of the work that paramedics commit to do. Thank you, and we will remember them.
Thank you, Jennifer. Call upon CAO Ron Tripp, if on. Moving on, calling upon Acting Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Haiji.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me to share a few words here. As everyone has already remarked, paramedics are obviously on the front lines of helping our residents and clients when they are in need. And of course, with the COVID-19 pandemic, their role has been more important than ever. With many healthcare providers no longer operating or limiting their contact with the public, paramedics have, of course, continued to respond to every 911 call and be there for their clients. And of course, that has taken on some risk of themselves becoming infected with COVID-19. Of course, the pandemic has widespread impacts on many people across society in terms of their health. Social isolation, of course, has been a significant impact for many people who are already struggling with their health. There's, of course, widespread mental health impacts. And I think it's important for us to remember that paramedics, in addition to being the healthcare providers to help persons suffering with these issues, are also members of the community who may suffer these issues themselves as well. And we should not lose sight of the fact that they are both the people who are providing us help, but also members of our community who might sometimes be suffering themselves as well. Here at Niagara Region Public Health and Emergency Services, in EMS, we of course have STAR Care. And of course, the first principle of STAR Care is safety and making sure our paramedics are always safe. And that's something we always want to make sure we do. But of course, our paramedics are very brave individuals. Attention to their clients' needs is, of course, another principle of STAR Care and one they always live up to. And I think it's important that we always remember that these two twin goals of STAR Care are important. to make sure we're investing in their safety so they can always look after their clients as best as possible. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Dr. Haji. I call upon now MPP Wayne Gates.
Thanks very much for having me. I want to talk about a little bit about the EMS and how your family and how important it is today to remember those that have lost their lives in the line of duty, whether that be with post-traumatic stress disorder, whether that would be with suicides, and how you come together as a family to make sure that the loved ones that are left behind are not forgotten about. But not only not forgotten about, your coworkers make sure that they're okay, whether that's sometimes paying them a visit to make sure that the kids are okay, make sure that the kids or sons or daughters may have to go to dance or to go to a hockey practice, to make sure that all that's taken care of when somebody loses their life. So I want to say to the EMS, I have the utmost respect for the job that you do every single day, the bravery that you show every day, and sometimes in very, very tough circumstances. And something that a lot of people don't talk about, quite frankly. Some EMS, they go to somebody's house and it's a friend, it's a neighbor, it's a colleague, somebody that they know, and they're working on them to save their lives. So I want to say thanks for bringing the bell to Niagara. Thanks for the work that you do every day. Thanks for caring for our community. And again, I have the utmost respect for all EMS. And thank you for the job that you do every day. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Wayne Gates. I now call upon Niagara EMS Chief Kevin Smith.
Thank you, Gregor. Thank you to the dignitaries, the MPPs, Jennifer Stevens, Wayne Gates, Jeff Birch, our acting chair CAO, Ron Tripp, who couldn't be with us today, but I know he sends his thoughts. Acting Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Mustafa Hirji, and to everyone watching, it is appreciated for you to take your time in your full schedules to join us today, at least virtually, as we honor the men and women who have served as paramedics and as a result, lost their lives in doing so. This is a somber moment as we reflect on the impact that choosing the paramedic profession can have on one's life, and not just on the paramedics serving on the front line, but the emergency medical dispatchers who answer the calls for help, and the many people behind the scenes who commit themselves to serving our community through the delivery of quality paramedic services. And while this is a somber occasion, it's also a sobering one, intended to draw attention to the crisis facing emergency services personnel, including paramedic services. The intention of the Bell Memorial is paired by the annual memorial bike ride that could not happen this year for obvious reasons. But such a reason does not provide relief to the priority of protection of our people in body, mind, and spirit. Today is a reminder, a call for a commitment of continued action to ensure the well-being of all, and more specifically, the mental well-being of those who live their lives helping others. This is why it's important to have our elected officials join us today to pledge to their commitment, and for me, as your chief, to pledge to ensure that all means are explored and that our necessary actions are taken to protect each and every one of you, and all these actions are pursued until exhausted. And while this is a somber and sobering moment, it's also a moment of hope. Even when things may seem lost and dim, hope is what gathers us together today. Hope is what we as leaders need to encourage to others to provide the best opportunity to turn that hope into reality. And as the bell is rung for each name today, let it not bring us down, but rather May each toll be a calling for all of us, because no one person can do it alone, to keep our hopes alive and motivate us to a reality where the bell is a symbol of achievement, where the names that are read are more than just the names of the fallen. They are people who helped us find the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Smith. I call upon Kristen Daly, representing the Niagara Paramedic Association.
Hello, I'm Kristen Daly. I'm here with the Niagara Paramedic Association. We're so excited that the bell has finally arrived here in Niagara. We've been planning it for a little while now. I've personally done the Paramedic Memorial Ride, as well as, so from Toronto to Ottawa, as well as from Hamilton to Toronto, kind of as a kickoff ride. It's hard to describe the bike ride in words, as an emotional and physical roller coaster. I've never been part of something that you can have so much fun doing 1 minute and then be holding back tears the next. The camaraderie and sense of family during the entire ride is what gets us through. Sorry. Each morning when we wake up with limp and sore muscles, questioning if we can do another 100+ kilometers, when we read the names and ring the bells, after that, it's not a question. We're just gonna get on the bike and ride for them. During the ride, you don't belong to a service, but a collective group with the same respect for the fallen. I think I speak for all riders when I say we have formed a unique bond with all the riders from different services that can only be founded with perseverance and determination. At the end of it all, you realize you're not doing it for yourself, but for those who never came home at the end of their shift. So with that said, with the Paramedic Memorial Bell here in Niagara, we will remember those who have fallen and honor them the right way, as Niagara does.
Thank you, Kristen. I call upon Lyle Renault as Memorial Ride representative to say a few words.
Thank you, Gregor. To the audience that is out there today, thank you for joining. MPP Birch, MPP Gates, MPP Stevens, Acting CEO Ron Tripp, Acting Medical Officer Dr. Hergy, Chief Smith, and finally, my family in EMS, thank you. On behalf of Corporal Stilton and myself of the Niagara EMS Honor Guard, it's an honor and pleasure to be here today to not only remember those who have given their lives in a job that they love, but to represent their memory and to keep it going so that we never forget the sacrifice that they gave so the rest of us can be safe. May 2013, I was working night shift with my partner, Toby. And near the end of shift, we were about to go home when we had heard that there had been a major accident involving an orange helicopter. Not knowing many details at that time, obviously, both Toby and I were discussing how the families would feel getting that notification that a loved one was either hurt, missing, or dead. Well, that reality kind of came to fruition for me when I found out my school classmate and friend, Christopher Snowball, had perished in that crash. So today we remember those who again gave their lives to make sure that we are safe, and that we get home to the rest of our families. It's an honor and privilege to be here. And I thank every one of you for being here and making sure that we never forget what we do, who we are. We are family. When one falls or stumbles, the rest of us fall and stumble too. As someone who's been diagnosed with a PTSI, I can definitely say it is heartbreaking to know that people will take their own lives because they no longer can do the job that they love. We also remember them and honor them. Semper Memoriam.
Thank you, Lyle. Next, I would like to call on Matt Montine, He has written a song by himself, as well as the band members together, on the memorial itself. I'd like to call on Matt Montine to say a few words.
Hello everyone, my name is Matt Montine. I'm a paramedic here with Niagara, as well as Norfolk County. And today is a very special day for paramedics, dispatchers, police staff, and emergency medical services. Despite a pandemic, we are able to commemorate all of those a part of emergency medical services. To those who are struggling, to those who are aiding them, and to those who have fallen. Thank you to everyone who has allowed this to be possible without the memorial bike ride occurring. It is truly remarkable to see such a tremendous amount of support. As mentioned, I'm a paramedic, and in my spare time, I enjoy writing and playing music with the band VRX. We are consistent of Jordan Martin, who's a dispatcher with Niagara EMS, Noah Burston, who's also a paramedic with Niagara EMS, and myself. Together, we have made a song called Home for Now, a song dedicated to the memorial bell. And the memorial bell represents so many emotions. We wanted to inspire hope for those who are struggling, knowing that they will never have to fight these battles on their own. We wanted to instill a sense of camaraderie for our family, as no matter which role you play, we are all in this together. We wanted to show those who have fallen that they are eternalized in our hearts. So comes our anthem for the hopeless, for the struggling, for those who feel alone, and for commemorating our fallen brothers and sisters. It is our audible representation of what the memorial bell has always stood for. Because even though we're not here forever, we are home for now. Thank you.
From here, we are going to do the reading of the names. Again, I call upon Matt Montine. Actually, sorry, Lyle Renault to read the first 25, as well as Tim Stilson to ring the bell.
Today we remember and honor the following people who gave their lives doing the job to protect us and our families. Alfred Barr, Search and Rescue. William Maylock, New Brunswick. Oh. Christopher Snowball, Ontario. Just ask Matt Montine to come in. Matt?
Dustin Degnas, Ontario. John O'Mahony, Alberta. Joanne Fuller, British Columbia. Ivan Polivka, British Columbia. Crystal Isbrecht, Canadian Forces, Petawawa. Andrew Miller, Canadian Forces, Petawawa. Colin Wilmot, Canadian Forces, Edmonton. Michael Starker, Canadian Forces, Edmonton. Mike Gray, British Columbia. Nicholas Beauchamp, Forces Canadiennes. Christian Tachez, Forces Canadiennes. Michael S. Jolin, Alberta. Paul Patterson, Ontario. Glenn Arnold, Canadian Forces, Petawawa. Andrew Ikellenboom, Canadian Forces. Sean Courier, British Columbia. Kim Witzel, British Columbia. Andrea Thompson, Ontario. John Rositter, Nova Scotia. Wayne Dufty, Ontario. April Bridges Hopkin, Ontario. Jacques Beauregard, Quebec.
I call upon Tim Stilson to read the last of the names and Lyle Renault to ring the bell.
François Pichette, Quebec. Ronald McDonald, Nova Scotia. Ken Dowdy, Canada. Keith Berry, Manitoba. Manuel Codros, Manitoba. Andy Guadish, British Columbia. Wendy Thompson, British Columbia. Carol Schlamp, British Columbia. Teresa Bond, British Columbia. Charles Russ Ransom, Ontario. Donald Quentin, Ontario. Ian Harris, Ontario. Tony Sunderland, British Columbia. Peter Medill, Ontario. Mark Salesi, Search and Rescue. Janik Gilbert, Search and Rescue. Kirk Knoll, Search and Rescue. Jean Roy, Search and Rescue. Daryl Cronin, Search and Rescue. Philip Young, Search and Rescue. Richard Cox, Search and Rescue. Ronald O'Neill, Search and Rescue. Ronald Rasico, Ontario. Leah Danielle Schroeder, Saskatchewan. Matthew Denis, Quebec. And now a moment for those who suffer in silence with PTSD, depression, anxiety disorders, so that they know they are not alone. They are not suffering alone, and they no longer suffer in silence.
Thank you again. These are my closing words. Let's support each other. We are one big family. We are paramedics, dispatchers, fleet family. We are a family of frontline workers. Let's remember. Let's remember why we got into this field. Remember the fallen that gave their life to save another. Remember the ones that were in the dark and couldn't find the light to guide them. Let's remember to give the support to the ones that suffer. In silence, to stand by their side. We have lost 12 here in Niagara since 2002, paramedics and fleet staff, due to medical ailments or by their own hand. Let's come together and be there for each other. Not just here in Niagara, across the province and across Canada. We are a family team. When the family comes together, we create an unstoppable team. Together, everyone achieves more. Let's be there to support when time of need. Let us remember. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech. That concludes our ceremony. Thank you again.
Memorials and their meanings give rise to this celebration. 'Cause there's a moment when we stand together on all our new foundations, and we're built for this reason, so that those before us can open up their eyes and see that they are who we remember, regarded in high esteem. You are only a visitor, but you're home for now. is a monument to our family. And as each second passes, each and every night, we are becoming closer to being bound together by these ties. 'Cause where grief and time meet, in a place I know you'll be, is where I will be searching for, and waiting for that bell to ring. You are only a visitor, but you're home for now. Yeah, you're home for now. You're home for now. With all of your statements, we'll commemorate the sentiment. You are only a visitor, but you're home. You are only a visitor, but you're